Yes, Lizzie, I'm back with two important people. I'm here with Mathilde. Mathilde is Jack Kerouac's cousin. Jack Kerouac is the most important figure of the Beat Generation movement. And with Kathleen. Kathleen is Allen Ginsberg's sister, who is also a really important author of the Beat Generation movement. So, girls, I have a few questions for you. Let's start with you, Mathilde. Why do we think about your cousin Jack Kerouac when we talk about the Beat Generation movement?
Because he's one of the authors that invented that beat movement. That movement began in the 50s, a few years after the Second World War, and it was an era of sex, drugs and alcohol, and Jack Kerouac embodied it perfectly. And also because his novel On the Road was considered as the Bible of the Beat Generation.
I think that On the Road played a major role in the movement, is that right?
Yes, of course. On the Road reflects the atmosphere of the movement really well. It tells the story of Jack's road trips, filled with sex, drugs, alcohol and jazz, because he was also a huge fan of jazz. And he's believed to have written On the Road in 3 weeks' time, in a spontaneous prose like jazz musicians would do to improvise a song. And he wrote it on a 120 feet long scroll. And when it was published, On the Road had received a huge success, and it was sort of the beginning of the end for Jack.
He was a troubled man, wasn't he?
Yes, you're right. He took a lot of drugs, drank a lot of alcohol, as a true member of the Beat movement. He also didn't cope really well with the fame of On the Road and became alcoholic, and he eventually died at 47 years old from alcoholism. But I think he still remains the icon of the Beat Generation.
Yeah, that's a really sad fate.
Yes.
Thank you, Mathilde. Now, Kathleen, your brother, Allen Ginsberg, was also a key member of the Beat Generation movement, right?
Yes, he is considered as one of the founding fathers. So, together with Jack Kerouac and William Burroughs, they formed the core of the Beat Generation.
What kind of themes did your brother develop in his writings?
Well, he believed in a counterculture. He was also a true defender of gay rights. He took part in anti-war movements and also protested against the Vietnam War.
He became famous with The Hole, I think.
Yes, The Hole is his major work, but it caused him a lot of trouble.
How so?
Well, in that novel, Ali denounced what he considered as the destructive forces of capitalism and conformity in the United States. And so he had to face a trial because in that novel we found descriptions of homosexual intercourse, which was illegal at that time. And so the officials saw the book as obscene, but in fact the book reflected my brother's own experience as an homosexual, and eventually the judge ruled out in his favor, and so Allen became the icon of anti-censorship.
So if I understand correctly, he fought for what he believed in. Did he publish other works?
Of course, Allen suffered a lot when our mother passed away, and so he published a poem, now Kaddish, for Naomi Ginsberg, in which he describes the relationship he had with our mother, and I think it is one of his most touching pieces of work.
Well, unfortunately our time is up, but thank you very much, both of you. Thanks to you, I think that now we have a clear vision of who were the key writers of the Beat Generation movement, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
Back to you, Lizzie.